Showing heaps of photos, aren't we?
We sure are.
I scanned all these photos. Now you're going to tell everyone what they are. You looking forward to it?
Oh yeah. I'll fall asleep.
Yeah, I really am looking forward to it.
Okay, hope you enjoy them.
Okay, here we go.
Bill Kelland at the bottom
this
with
one
his cigarette in his hand and taken in the First World War in hospital. Barbie and Ken at wedding in 1951.
My mum, about 1928, by looking at that model of the car.
Yep, 1930-ish, 1928.
From
Barbie and Auntie Muriel, Ken's auntie from his mother's side. On the left is Heather Havel and then Barbie on the right, taken when I was first year of high school. That's me on the second bottom row on the right, and a friend Norma on the end, taken in the 1930s. I'm in the middle behind the little boy in the front with a blackboard at the bottom. That was probably a year later. That's my mother and myself when I was about 3 or 4 years old at Harbord. That's my 6th birthday party. I'm on the very end with a funny hat on the head, on the left-hand side. That was at Harbord. That's Bert Creed, Eileen Hartman's brother, and that's Eileen Hartman when she was Eileen Creed, around about the Second World War.
She's your cousin?
She's my cousin Eileen. That's my brother Ken. He was about 21 then. That's my 2 sisters and myself at the end. Ethel on the right, Gwen and Barbara. That's myself when I was about 12. I'm at high school there. I've got to find myself.
Don't worry about it.
Yes.
You're in there somewhere?
Let me
I think it's here.
That's it. That's me. Yeah, at high school. I was a prefect. I think that was a prefect's photo, that one. And that's me. I think it's third from the end. I think. No, that's it. Yes, it's probably first or second year at high school.
second year, it's got 2 C, 1.
Oh, has it? Yeah, second year.
Ah, that's me and my mum when I was a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Dad and me. You have a look at the little stroller. How about that? That's me again. That's up to date. Oh, I was going for a leak.
How old were you there, Dad?
About 2. That's me. I remember that picture. I can even remember driving down that road, that footpath.
Oh, really?
Oh, about 3 or 4, I suppose. That's Dad, me, Mum, Dad and me, Auntie Muriel and Mum.
Your mum's on the left, isn't she?
Mum's on the left, yeah, in white. That's Aunt Kawasi's 3 kids on the left, and that's me on the right with a little dude on the head. And me and Mum walking down the Corso about 1937, 38.
It's in Manly, is it?
Yep. That's when I was a baby in Burwood Park.
With your mum?
Yep. That's me again. I love the mum's hat. That's the bear that Barbara chucked out about 3 years ago with one arm off him, no eyes, and his leg with a hole in it. She threw it out.
Oh.
That's me as a little kid on the left-hand side, and with the neighbours, and my brother on the very end on the right. But the other kids were living in the same road, in Coles Road, Harbord. That's me sitting on the, whatever it is, stone thing. That's my mother behind me, and that's Mrs. Raffo on the left and her daughter Florrie on the right. I'm there.
You talk about big school.
I'm on the very end of the second row on the top.
You talk about
holding a big doll.
Big classes in those days.
Yeah, 54, roughly 54 in your class in those days. That's Eileen Hartman, who used to be Eileen Creed when she was young. That's her brother John Creed. That's me with a cup of tea on the left, and that's my mum and dad on the far right, with mum sitting behind dad. And that's myself at the front, and my 2 sisters and brother, Ethel, Ken and Gwen, and then me in the middle. That's Albert Burgess, a cousin in England. He's known as Reg Burgess. That's myself when I was 6 years old in Harboard. That's my mum and myself when I was about 5 or 6 or 7. I don't know how old I was yet. That's Beryl Stapleton. It used to be Beryl O'Hare, a friend of mine. That's mum and dad on their son-in-law's motorbike, Bobby Bell's motorbike. That's Eileen Creed's mother, Ethel. That's myself when I was about 10, before I went to school one morning, taking the teacher flowers, and that's Ethel and myself. That's myself and my sister Gwen. Myself, it's supposed to be in a swimming costume. That's me on the second top row, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the end, that's it, yeah. And that's my mum, dad and 2 sisters, my brother, myself and my Uncle Bert on the left. That's the whole family, my family, mum and dad and my 2 sisters and brother. That's Ethel and Bob Bell, my sister Ethel, and they were married in
41?
Yeah, I think it was 1941, I think it was. That's Harold Baxter, a cousin of mine, and my brother Ken and myself. That's myself on the right-hand side and 2 friends that belong to the Raffo family. That's my first niece, Sandra Bell, who's now in her 60s, and that was her as a baby. That's my 2 sisters and myself in the middle. That's myself when I was about 10. That's Bert Creed, Eileen's cousin, Eileen's brother, my cousin. That's me on the second top row, second from the end on the right, at school. That's Ethel and Bob Bell with Sandra and David when they were little. That's my brother Ken in the army in the Second World War, at the end of the Second World War, and myself. And that's myself on the left and Heather Havel on the right. That's my mum, dad and family.
Ah! I get a mention. Me, Jim, Barbie and Gail.
Oh, that's my cousin's de facto husband. His name was Jack Sheldon, and his and my cousin Ruth Baxter's 2 children, John and Lorraine. That's Ruth Baxter, also known as Sheldon, and John and Lorraine. That's Jack Sheldon again.
With a snake.
Big snake.
Yes, or something. And that's Ruth and Barbara and her 2 children. It was Jim, nursing Jim. That's myself and Gail at Paynesville. So I was taken about 1957. That's Ken and Jack Sheldon and his son John. That's Ken and Barbie.
It is.
That's myself.
That's Barbie.
That's Beryl and Ken Stapleton
1950.
on their wedding day.
That's Mum, Barbie and Dad at Cole and Campbell Creek. That's a little house we had out at DY West. I used to sleep in the garage. It's Jimmy Hayward, I can't think of her
Betty,
name.
I think.
And Barbie and me on Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras night.
Manly.
And Jimmy was one of your best mates?
Yep.
Yep.
He was killed in an aeroplane crash and we named Jim our son after him.
He died when he was 25.
That's me with my personal white shirt. Mum and me in Sydney one night
When we
years
was,
ago.
16 and 19 we were.
Oh, sexy little dude.
That was when you look, wasn't it?
That was when I used to be in Palmer's. I used to be a snooker ball champion. Me again.
When you were about 18.
And Dad, looking very debonair and suave, just coming out the bathroom. Euston Street. Dad and Mum's shop up at Belmont.
Oh no, Mayfield. though.
Mayfield, sorry. Mayfield,
Near
Newcastle.
That's Auntie Gwen's family. That's Chris is the tallest one. Greg on the right, he was killed by a car accident. He was run over after school. And there was his 2 brothers and a friend from up the road. Not really any.
Dad, and that's me actually standing outside Dad's car.
That's me when I was about 17 or 18. It's me hoeing up the weeds.
How many
and
times you ever did any gardening?
It's me in the wilderness. That's a next door's dog that used to come in every night for something to eat. That was at Woy Woy, New South Wales. My dad's in the front with, I don't know whether it's with me or somebody else, I can't see properly.
Did you live there?
No.
Who lived there?
What's that? Oh,
Dad's
lived there.
friend.
Dad's friends from the post
Okay.
office where he worked. And
That's me, in the garden.
That's Dad and his first grandchild, I think.
Your dad?
No, not first grandchild, it's his son's first child. That's right.
Your dad?
Yeah, my dad and Ken's first child, Peter.
Brian, Nancy and Barbie in a boat out at Narrabeen Lakes.
That's me hanging out the washing. That's on the bus trip, isn't it?
That's a trip down to Canberra. We went one for a few days, years ago. That's
Okay.
Canberra. And Barbara and myself.
1953, I believe.
It's on the way to Canberra.
That's at Nowra, I think. I think that could be Nowra, I'm not sure.
I think it's Canberra Lake, actually.
Is it? Oh, is it? Oh,
That's Canberra Lookout
oh right. I didn't
in
know
1953.
that. Yeah. That's Nancy and Brian's car in the early 50s. And that's a picnic with Nancy and Brian. Ken, I think Ken and myself here, I'm not sure.
My mum and dad, that was at Belmont in here in Newcastle.
1953.
That looks like our backyard.
That's who?
That's Elaine and Bill Baxter. Bill Baxter's my cousin on the second from the left, and that's myself. And there's Jan and Rodney Earl. I used to go to school with Jan. Her name was Cawthorne before Earl, and Dad used to play tennis with Rodney.
Me on my horse and cart years ago.
Were you the last person to deliver bread?
I was the last person to deliver bread on the horse and cart. Actually, I'm in a history book of Harwood in the State Library. Oops, there's Brian
Seller, Brian Seller.
Seller. Oh, that is the C grade winning team for the championship. Thank you very much.
Kenny Shipper from left.
1953, C grade champions of the world.
C grade, yes.
That's Fred and Alex Garrity. That was taken possibly just after they were married in the 50s probably.
So your friends from England?
Friends from England. I've been writing to her since I was 14 and I'm still writing to her and I'm 70 now.
Me, the Belson Horror.
That's Nancy and Brian Sellers' wedding. Nancy I went to school with and moved in with them. That's myself and Gail.
At Banstar.
Benstar.
1957.
Yep. That's myself and Ken at Benstar.
Not our car, I was just driving it.
The car we've already.
Oh, there's Lindy, and that's Gail, and that's me fishing with the rod in the back behind them.
And Jim
Jim's in the little stroller.
Yeah. That's myself and Jim.
Not a bad photo of Barbie, that one. There she is again. Oh, she
With
is
Gail
a-
and Jim, 1950s.
Yeah, 1958.
Yeah.
That's me, Barbie, Gail and Jimmy up at Katoomba.
And that's
Yep.
Katoomba.
That's the house we rented for a week.
Gail and Jim. Gail and Jim. Gail and Jim. Ken and somebody. Who is it?
Gail and
Jim.
Jim. Gail and Jim again.
Yeah, Gail and Jim at the bottom.
1958, yeah.
Yeah. That's Ken with Gail and Jim.
Still at Katoomba.
Yep.
But still, that's taken at Orange with Linda.
Yeah.
Pins, the pins is improving and running into
So
the...
she finished.
She's into the movie.
Ken with
There's Linda too.
Linda and Gail, yes, at Orange in New South Wales. That's a birthday party for Jim, I think, when he was about 6, I'm not sure. And Gail standing next to him.
That's
on the
Jim
back row.
and Gail.
Yes, with all their friends.
Oh, that was a night
That's
of
a
some
terrible photo.
wedding, and I got half stonkered that
No,
night.
no, it only looks like it did.
Yeah, I was stonkered.
Whose wedding was it?
That was that Sandra Bell's, I
Sandra
think.
Bell's, yeah.
Yes, and Miss Ethel on there, and that's the mother of Sandra.
Oh gee, look, I couldn't
My
get
two
the,
sisters
couldn't get
and
the
cousin.
smile off my face.
Yeah.
It's full of the
Ethel, yeah.
There's Lenny Pins.
That's my Auntie Beattie on the left and her husband on the right and her daughter in the front, I think. I don't know who that is at the back. That's my dad with Bandy Legs. My eldest sister Ethel, Barbara and Gwen. That's Gwen, Ethel and their children. That's Heather Havel and myself. The high school days. That's myself and Heather again. That's myself with my nieces and nephews. I think that's Sandra, David and Diana. That's my auntie Nellie in England, and that's her son Albert, known as Reg Burgess. That's Barbara, Dad and brother Ken. That's myself. That's myself on the very end of the right at the top with all my girlfriends from school, and we had a tennis day at Northhead in Manly. That's myself. That's myself again. It's Kenneth. I don't know when that was. It's
Barbie and me.
1949, that's one.
Yeah, and that's my friend Beryl and myself on a funny pose. That's my brother Ken on the right when he was in the army just at the end of the Second World War. That's at my brother's Ken's wedding and when I was a bridesmaid, and Ken came to the wedding too. That's my Auntie Nellie on the right, her son at the back, and her sister in the front, Auntie Beattie, and Auntie Lily's right at the back.
Front and French there.
Yeah.
Mum and me. And again,
16 and 19 there.
and again.
That's Ken. Barbie.
1950, these ones.
Yeah, in the 50s anyway. That's Barbie. When I was about 17 and Dad was about 20. It's Ken.
Pretending to play golf.
Pretending to play golf, right?
That's Bobby Hayward, I think his name is, and Netta. And that's the brother and sister of Jim that was killed. And that's Ken and I. But that's
Is that me on your lap?
yes, at the zoo.
Oh,
In,
is
I
that
hope
me
so.
on- I have
yes,
this
Ken
too.
and Barbara at the zoo in Sydney.
Is it?
And that's Wendy, Nancy and myself. We were bank girls and we were in Sydney going to tech at that time.
No, this was in Scotland, up at the
Honeymoon.
Palace.
That was our honeymoon.
That was me when I was in this regular army for about 3 or 4 months.
What did you do in the army?
Nothing much, just trained for that time.
That's, I don't know, I think that's Keith Hartman, like Ireland's son. That's
Oh!
when I was about 14 or 15. That's my brother Ken, Kellen. That's my brother's wedding, Pauline, her friend Pat and myself. It's myself with Gail. Myself with Gail again. Ken with Gail. Gail and Jim, little.
1956.
Yeah, Jim was 2. That's Gail and Jim.
1961.
1951. Yeah,
61, yep.
It's me, Gail, and the three
I
of
was
us,
born
that's
in
right.
1954.
Stevie Stewart's on the Stewart. Jim's on the ground, stand next to me, and that's Penny on the lap.
That's Sandra Bell's wedding with Ethel and Bob on the right.
Kindles.
Yeah, Linda, in other words. That's Linda again. That's my dad with Linda as a baby.
Or Pindles.
That's Linda again. Ken, myself and Linda at somebody's wedding. Not Linda, it was Gail.
That was Gail, yeah.
Gail was Gail. There's Gail again at the wedding. She's about 2 there.
1956.
Suppose I did a sort.
1966.
56.
That's me and Gail down at Harbour.
Harbord Beach, known as Freshwater Beach.
Mm.
That's
Jim and his
Jim,
pram.
there's a little bubby. That's Jim again. Gail and Jim. Gail looks like she's squeezing him to death.
1957.
That's right. That's Ken with Gail at Freshwater Beach.
And up on the hill there, you know, in those days.
That's amazing, isn't it? That's in our backyard at Harbord. Ken, Barbara, Gail and Jim.
Dad put that chicken run up at the back. He did a good job on it too. It was nice and level right across.
Yeah, and that's Linda. Yeah, that's Julie Bell. That's Ethel's daughter. That's myself and Linda, isn't it? Is that Linda?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Beryl Stapleton, myself.
Outside the house with my bread truck that I used to run. That's Mum and Dad, and we
Gail.
out at Narrabeen Camping Reserve. They had a mobile home up a tent.
That's Gail. Gail. Mum and Gail. It's Ken, Gail and Auntie Muriel. Myself and Jim, I think. Yep.
Not me, is it? No, it's Jim.
That's Jim.
1956, yep.
Yeah, that's when he was born. Yeah, that's Gail. That's Jim, Gail, and so Gail at the beach. That's my dad with Gail sitting on the ground. It's Gail again. That's my sister Gwen at the back with Chris Welsh, her eldest son, and Rodney's on the right, and Greg's in front of Gwen, who was killed in a car accident, and myself, and Jim, and the little girl Pal. I can't think of the
You're not
first
in that.
Yeah.
No. Did I say myself?
Yeah, you're not in there.
No, I'm not there. I'm going mad. That's Gail and Jim.
Gail and Jim.
Yeah, that's Jim. That is at Jim's christening, and we had a little party at our house in Harwood. And Dad on the left, myself, Eileen, Gwen, Netta Haywood, or it's now Netta.
Harold,
She's married now, I can't think of her name. Walmsley, I think.
Ken, Walmsley.
Yeah, and Ken Stapleton on the right.
Well, Ken, that was the first time that he
Oh,
ever
last
stopped
time.
out to wear dark glasses, and he had this agoraphobia.
Agoraphobia.
Can't stand light and
That's
open
enough,
spaces.
that's enough. That's Gail, Jim and Linda. No, Gail and Jim, sorry,
Yeah.
that's Gail.
1957.
Yeah, and that's Gail and Jim. Gail and Jim again. I think that's at the mountains, isn't it? Katoomba. That's Jim on our back lawn at Harwood. Jim in Harwood. Jim in somebody else's little car. Jim in somebody else's little car again. Yeah.
He's got no clothes on.
Now he's naked. Jim.
1957.
Let's go and Jim again. That's taken on Manly Ocean Front. That's myself with Gail and Jim.
What's that building in the background?
I think that's the Far West Children's Home or something.
Is it still there? I think it
Yes,
is.
it's still there. It's got much bigger now. That's
Gail.
Gail.
It's 1958. These
That's
ones.
the bread truck I used to drive with Willie's sheep.
With Gail. Gail and Jim. Gail and Jim.
Showing off.
And Gail and Jim.
Yeah, there's a shock of hair. That is a shock of hair.
Mm. Just get out of bed there, did you?
I think it must have.
That's the two grandpas living with us in Harwood.
Advertising the flower bag next to them.
That's Jim and Mandy showing off again.
It's a nice outfit.
Yeah, that's a little boy's suit that they used to wear when they dressed up. That's Gail and Jim waiting to go to Sunday school. That's Gail and Jim in the backyard at Harwood. That's at Manly again in front of the Far West Home. That's Ken and Jim. Ken leading Jim on a horse somewhere. I don't know where that was. It's
Chris Welsh.
no, it's Chris Seller, I think, with Gail and Jim.
Mm. Got the wrong name in the photo album.
I put Chris Wells, did I?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Anyway, keep going.
There's myself with Gail, Jim and Linda in our, I don't know, go back down to somewhere, no, couldn't be about that.
Where's the pins? Oh,
Yeah, it must have been on a picnic, I think. That's myself with Gail and Jim. I think that's at Beryl's place.
There's
at
pins on
Pride.
the lap.
And Linda on my lap, of course. That's Gail and Jim Harboard. Gail and Jim Harboard going to Sunday school again. That's Mr. Evans, a friend of ours, with Gail and Jim. That's with Santa, Gail and
He's
Jim.
a frowsy
And
looking Santa.
Jim was scared out of his wits.
He was scared, was he?
He was a frowsy Santa.
That's another.
It's really a
That's a picnic.
That's a one.
That's me, Barbie, the three kids. That's when I was going to tennis, and it's Sunday morning usually in those days.
That's Auntie Muriel, Ken and Gail and Linda. There's Jim in there, I can't see.
Yeah, Jim's at the
He's
bottom.
behind Gail.
Yeah.
He's down here.
Yes, I can't, yeah, my eyesight's failing. That's Dad.
There's three of us
Three
again.
kids.
Three kids. Ah,
Linda.
there she is.
With nothing on. No, Linda.
I never met a kid with so many grins on her face. Is that
Jim
right?
and Linda. Now that's a neighbour's kid in the middle, at the bottom, with Gail and Jim dressed up as cowboys. Gail and Jim. Gail and Jim go to Sunday school again. Gail, Jim and Linda. At the zoo, I think.
1960.
Yeah, that's at the zoo. And that's
That's at DY. DY Beach.
right. That's Gail. before school in the morning. Oh, gosh.
She's here.
Yes,
Oh,
she
that's
is.
Gail on the fourth from the left
Yeah.
on the second bottom row. That's Gail and Julie Bell and Julie Bell's neighbour. Gail's in the middle. That was taken at a birthday, I think.
1960.
Yeah, and that was taken in Hartford, I think. It was with Julie on the left, Gail and some friends there for a birthday.
Linda's getting fat there, isn't she?
Yeah, Miss Linda in a little cage, see. That's
It's Dad, Lenny,
Gail,
and Steve, Jim, I mean.
and that's your dad.
Dad and Lenny.
That's Anne Manston on the left, and the mother's Joyce Wallace, our friend, and that's Jim.
What are they doing in
Linda.
there? I don't want to do it in there. Cowboy.
Oh, well, no, just dressing up. And that was Gail, Jim and Linda. Gail, Jim and Linda, a special photo. Gail, no, it's not Gail, it's Linda and Jim. Gail, Jim and Linda.
Don't know what that's there.
There's some commercials coming
I
in.
know.
Yeah, it's all right, they come on again. That's, yeah, that's
Oops, there I am.
Ken when he was 18.
Myers and Son truck I had loan of because I used to work there.
And Gwen and Barbie, my sister Gwen. Ken and barbecue, I think.
Yeah.
Linda out the front of our house in Harbord. Now that's Anne, Joyce Wallace's daughter, and Gail and Linda dressed up in cowboy clothes. Jim on the second, from the end on the top row, I think. Was that him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's him.
Yeah, that's Jim. And who's in that one?
Gail's there.
Gail's in the middle there, right behind the board. There's
Harbord Beach, one Sunday morning.
with Richard Hunt, our little neighbour down there.
Have a go at Gail's face.
Oh, no, it's not. It's Jim. That's not Richard Hunt, is it?
No, it's Jim.
Just Jim. No, it looked like
Look at
Richard.
Gail's hair, really.
Yeah. That's
Same thing, I think, same day.
same family again. Ken again. That's at the mountains.
Katoomba, yeah. We used to go up there a fair bit.
That's at the mountains. Mountains again. Still at the mountains.
Brisk.
That's at the Echo Point at the mountains with myself and the three kids. That's Gay, I can't remember. Gay Welsh, the kids' cousins, and that's Linda on the right, isn't it?
In the back of it, yeah.
Yeah. That's Ethel with Linda and Gail, and I don't know who she's nursing there. It's Gail, Jim and Linda.
That's at the park at Katoomba.
That's Auntie Muriel with the three kids again. Ken and the three kids. Myself and the three kids. Can't find them.
Gail's up
Oh
here.
yeah, Gail forgot that she had to have a school photo taken that day, and she didn't go in school uniform, and the only child without it. Who's in that one?
There he is, second row, fourth in from the left.
Oh, that's Jim. No,
Yeah.
That's
oh,
him.
that's him there. Yeah, that's right. Jim and Gail were Santa. Linda, when she was about 15 months. Linda again at the beach. Oh, that's Gail, and I think Julie on the right. And I don't know who the other two kids were. It's myself.
Wow.
That's in Adelaide.
Got a
On the way
leg
to-
there.
We moved to Perth, and that was on the way. That was,
The pogo sticks.
yeah, that was at Harbord though, wasn't it, that one? Yeah, that's all our kids there. That's Linda on the right with her cousin Gay. That was our three kids in Harbord again. Ken and the three kids at Adelaide, and Ken's smoking a cigarette.
The only photo of you having a cigarette, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, good burn.
Yeah. That's the
Gail,
three children again.
Three of them again.
That's in Perth.
That was a motel we stayed at.
When we first moved to Perth, we had a couple of nights in a motel in East Perth. And that's at Point Cook. No, it's not Point Cook, it's at Cook.
Cook.
And that's us.
I think that was at Port Pirie.
In Port Pirie, oh, that was at the train station.
That's at Cook.
Yeah, that's at Cook. That's at Adelaide, on the way to Perth. That's in Perth, I think.
No,
that
that
one.
was at
Leighton.
Scarby.
Leighton?
Yes. Mhm.
Leighton?
No, it might
Leighton?
have been Leighton Beach.
Leighton.
It might have Leighton, yeah, it could have been Leighton
Leighton
Beach.
Beach.
That was at Cottesloe, and Linda with the raggy pants on. And that's at the beach. I don't know whether it's Cottesloe or where, but it's our three kids. And that's our house that was being built at Nollamara, which was just out of Perth, about 6 miles out of Perth.
That's where it was built.
And that's at Nollamara Shopping Centre years ago. And that's when the house was finished with all the neighbours' kids as well.
Note the pogo stick off the ground at the back of the photo.
Oh yes, that's Bernie McMahon at the back. And yeah, that's our three kids at Nollamara again. That's in Perth, Kings Park, I think. I'm not
Park's
sure.
right.
Yeah, that's in Kings Park in Perth. That's our kids, Jim and Linda in Perth. That's a Perth photo with, I think, our kids and probably some others. That's with friends with their kids in Perth. And that's Philip Bell at the back, I think, and Julie in the middle. They came to visit us at our house in Perth.
That was a pretty good effort. Come over to Perth to visit you.
Yeah, it was.
with their parent, with a mother.
Mm.
Yeah. That's, I think
Jim's
that's
7th.
Jim's birthday, is it?
It's his 7th birthday.
Yeah, with Gail and Linda on the end and Jim on the
Yeah.
second on the road. Yeah. That's Linda in Perth. My sister Ethel in Perth at the front, and that's her two children and our kids in the front. That's my sister Ethel and I having a cuppa on the back patio. And that's, there's a monkey in the cage behind Philip, and it's called Jimmy. So Philip is pointing down to Jim as a monkey. That's my sister Ethel and myself and all our kids together. That's Philip and Julie and our kids again. Ethel, myself and Ken.
Endearing,
That's myself.
Kings Park,
Yes, at Kings Park. In
1963.
This was Philip and Julie and our kids. And that's, I think Philip and Julie's in that, isn't it?
Beatty Park Pool.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
with
where
our
they
three
had the Commonwealth
children.
Games.
And that's in Perth again, with Ethel and family. No, Ethel wasn't there. There's Ethel
I
there,
like the hat.
with Gwen, Ken and I. That's Elaine Hartman playing the piano. That's Julie Bell again with Gail and Linda and I think.
Kangaroo
yeah.
pool.
And that's our family again with Ethel and Philip and Julie. And Gail, Linda and Jim getting some Christmas presents with their Christmas presents. That's Christmas presents again. That
What was it, the Gale at, though?
I don't know, it might have been, it was some game.
It's a ball game, isn't it?
Yeah,
Some
I can't
description.
remember. Let's go. Myself. Our house in Perth. That's myself in Perth with three kids. Son, Bernie McMahon and Gail and Linda, Bernie in the middle. That's at a picnic ground at Mundaring Dam, I think,
Auntie
Auntie
Muriel.
Muriel and the three kids. Jim and
Jimmy.
Linda. Myself and Linda. Myself with Auntie Muriel and Linda and Jim. Linda. That's Gail, Jim and Linda, and I think that could be at Leighton Beach again, I'm not sure. That's at, I think that was at
That's at that church up the road, that
Yeah,
Presbyterian church.
that friend of ours, Joan, who lived in Perth, it was a friend of hers. It's Joan's baby's christening, but it was Ken and I. And that was the baby that was christened.
Yay!
Hey,
Stephen's on the
Stacey's
scene.
arrived.
It's about time.
Myself with Stevie. Now, the kids across the road in Perth and Gail and Linda there. And Linda and Peter McMahon with Santa Claus in Perth.
Look at Santa Claus.
Jim, Linda and Gail. That's Faye Williams, a friend who died later on at about 40 with her kids and Linda, I think.
Yeah.
Ken and
Me.
Stevie, yeah. And that's the four little darlings again.
How many times did you get that photocopy
I
printed?
got that photocopy 26 times to send to friends in Sydney. That was,
The four of them.
for all the kids.
Wacko, how
That was myself taking a photo. That's myself in Perth,
There's a
at
Beatty
Beatty Park
Park.
Pool. That's Stephen at Beatty Park Pool, feeling hot probably.
That's when he got burnt out of that umbrella that
Yes,
night.
he was under an umbrella in the shade and he got sunburnt, or windburnt. That's Stephen. Stephen was 4 months old.
As bad as Victorian one, only the opposite.
It is Stephen at 4 months. Stevie again on the pram, the funny old tram we borrowed. That was at a picnic with some friends.
That looks like
Oh,
Bobby
Bobby
Bell.
Bell at the back, yeah. Yeah, that's Ethel and...
That was down at Yanship, wasn't it?
Could have been, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
That's in Perth anyway. That's...
Yep.
Ken and Stephen, that was before we left Perth, just before we came back to Sydney. That's myself and Stephen, and that's Bobby and Ethel Bell and all us. And that's Gail and Mercy and Stephen, and the other two kids were there. Now who's in that photo?
There's Penny on the second row in the back, fourth from the right.
Oh yeah, that's right, that's Linda at school. Who's in that one?
Jim? No.
Jim at the front, isn't it?
Yes, that's him at the front, I think.
Just here.
Yeah, that's right. Who's in that one now?
Be Gail. Is it her?
Yeah, that's...
No, it's Linda, I think, isn't
No,
it?
it's Gail there, isn't it?
To say
Yeah,
you're
it's
right?
Gail.
No.
Yeah, it could be, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, that's Gail.
Yeah, my eyesight is bad. I'll have to get new glasses.
That's me.
Yeah, that's Stevie cuts. That's at Ryde. After we moved back from Perth, we stayed at Ryde for 5 months before we bought a house at Colorado.
1966.
Yeah, when decimal currency came in.
Nice.
Here he comes, he's
1967.
coming across the lawn. Watch out.
No, he's sitting there, hasn't
No, I'm crawling
he?
there.
Yeah, that's Stephen when he was about 8 months old.
I wanted to grab the camera and see how to take a digital photo, but digital
you
cameras
remember
weren't
that, do you?
invented yet.
That's Auntie Gwen with Stephen.
Geez, he's got up quick, isn't he?
Yeah, that's, I remember that's
I'm
in
two there.
Colorado, isn't
1967.
it? Yeah,
it's
it's in
got to be
Sydney.
back in Sydney.
Yeah, that's in Sydney.
Gail, third row, third
Linda.
from the right.
Linda.
Is it?
Right there.
At the back. Yeah, second back
yeah.
row.
Collar platter. I
Jim-
remember that
No,
day.
Stephen and Jan
What a
Stapleton, one
stinking hot
Christmas
day it was.
at Ryde that was taken,
Pretty hot.
Cheryl's place. And that was taken at Fairlight, I think in Manly, Fairlight Pool.
And that's Gay on the left.
Gay on the left, and the rest of us, yeah, that's Stephen, that looks like your kids, Steve. That's,
That's a Colorado Plateau.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
right. I
that's
remember
right.
that path.
Yeah. There's a Colorado Plateau at the front of our house, just out the front of the garden.
It's where we lived for 14 years. 13 years.
Yeah, that's a Colorado, that's our house at Colorado Plateau, next door to the Tays. That's, all the kids again. Stephen. Yeah. That's Dorothy and Jess Tomlinson on the right,
Oh,
with their
yeah.
kids and our kids. Yeah. That's at the front with the Tomlinson children as well as ours, and Ken. Stephen, yeah, that's all our kids with the Tomlinsons as well. That's Stephen.
Another bread truck I had.
Yeah,
Had a stack of
and
them over
David's
the
there.
years.
That's another good thing
I
again.
think it was when I was a vendor actually.
Stephen with, at Auntie Eileen's house while I was in hospital once upon a time for some reason, and she knighted Stephen.
And I was as good as gold.
You're a perfect child.
3 sisters there, plus the 3 family kids, plus
Yeah,
Barbie.
it's called the Three Sisters, yeah. That's,
Who's missing out those?
Gail. Where's Gail?
I don't know.
Yeah.
She might, oh, I don't know, there she is there.
That's that rotten bamboo at the front of the
Yeah,
house.
we had to kill that off with blackberries. That's Sandra Bell, Ethel, and her grandchildren. That's Auntie Muriel,
Barbie Muriel,
1964.
and that's
Gwenny.
Gwen and myself. I don't know where that might have been.
We've gone back a little bit, 1964 again.
It's Gay at her house, and that's Greg in the photo behind her. That was just after he was died.
Now 3.
Our 3 children.
our three children. This was in the Perth again.
Yeah, back to Perth.
Yeah, just before.
That's
Oh,
me again.
Stephen's born
He's
again
there he
here.
is.
I'm born again.
He's there again. He's born again. Oh, boy's been born
That's
again.
our house at Colorado Plateau.
We put a garage in front of that, didn't we?
Yeah, the old
Yeah,
garage in
and the
front.
people that bought it put a top on it.
Yeah,
Only worth about
Colorado
800,000,
Plateau,
1,000 million bucks now.
There's the water in the background there, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's right. That's down at Long Reef.
and that was at Colorado Beach, Ken,
Ah,
around
right.
the corner from it.
Around the corner from the pool.
It was near the pool.
Oh, right, okay. That's in there.
That's at Fairlight again, I think. That's,
Huh?
I think that's at Fairlight, I think.
Colorado Plateau, that'd be Linda in grade 3.
Where is she? That's,
Yeah.
oh, there she
Yeah.
is, second, on the third.
She won an
second
efficiency
row.
award there. That school's got a name up on the board.
Now, that's Ethel and Bobby Bill, Ken, my brother, myself, Ken and, Ken.
Pauline.
Ken and, like Pauline, yeah. That's myself with Ken, Gail and Linda. That's at Fairlight again.
Oh, that was a terrible hangover that morning.
Where was that?
Oh, that was a
Oh, that's,
Colorado.
no, that's,
No, it's Colorado Plateau.
I beg your
Those
pardon.
two English blokes had to use the toilet out in the backyard. That's where it was. They had to use the go.
Adrian and David.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They came to our house. They finished having to go in the
Our
paddock
four
next
children. Adrian came from England.
We
It
didn't
was
have the
nothing to do
sewer
with you, Ken. It was just Adrian and David.
Who were they there? They're friends of the family, were they?
Yeah, Adrian is a cousin of mine, a second cousin. That's Ken's Auntie Grace.
Having a kick.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
Clive's
in a
mum.
park. That's Ethel, myself, and who's the other one?
Yeah, Gwen.
Gwen. I didn't know.
Hey, what's going on there?
That's at the park.
Gosh, you can look at the, you can look at what's in the paper. Rabbits, something or other.
Rabbit turns purple.
That's at the same picnic with Auntie Grace, myself and Gail, not Gail, Linda and
Remember that being called the Ryers Picnic?
Stephen. And, oh, that's Bert Creed, I think that's Helen,
Yeah.
Eileen, Bill Baxter, myself, Ethel and Gwen. That's,
The four kids on the background at Colorado.
yeah, that's
Yep.
at Colorado Plateau. That's in the park.
Linda or Stephen or somebody threw water all over me.
Now, that was Eileen Hartman's
You?
son's wedding, Keith Hartman and his wife. That's
Back at the
Linda
picnic?
and, yeah, that's back at the picnic.
1970 this picnic was.
Yeah, that was a reunion picnic for all the Ryers, I think. That's Stephen again at the picnic.
Look a bit like Jaden there.
Yes, it does. See you again. It's Ken and I. Well, I don't know where that was. That looked like it was a Tarsa or something.
Yeah, it is.
That's
Tarsa.
Gail. Jim, who's on here. That's Ken, Tarsa. Now this is...
Colorado Plateau, Linda, grade 6, I think.
Yeah, where is she?
Here.
Yeah, in the second back row, fourth from the
Yeah.
right.
There's Linda.
Yeah. That's Stephen.
Muscles.
Muscles, me. There's me at school, not looking at the camera.
Yeah, on the back row, right in the middle.
It's in kinder,
Yeah.
as in prep.
Now that's at Tartha again,
Yep.
and I think Nancy and Brian Sellers
Yep.
were there again, and that's their kids as well as
And
ours.
Jim's friend came down,
Oh, Jim's friend, Greg, wasn't
Greg.
It was Jim got crooked as the car got there, wasn't it?
it? Yeah. That's at Tartha
We never had any
again.
photographs of us catching the fish, did we, down
That's Jim and Stephen at Colorado.
Back at the picnic.
Yeah.
there? Is that you then, Steve?
No,
That
it's
was
Jim.
Jim.
Yeah,
That's-
Jim's eating something there. There's Linda.
yeah, Ken and,
Where was that?
I don't know whether that was
That's when we went to
Norma's
St Ives.
place. Yeah, St Ives, at a friend's house at St Ives, Norma's place.
Mm. Mm.
That's Linda and,
Her friend Jenny Brown.
that's right.
And that's a
That's
few of the
Jim.
neighbourhood kids.
Yes, and that's in Colorado Plateau.
There's
again
Rob
at the
Smith down the
garden.
front there,
Yeah,
and the Tates.
yeah, all our
And the
kids and the
Smiths.
Tates. Yeah, all the neighbours' kids and our
Yeah.
kids. Yeah.
It's back at the picnic.
Back at the picnic,
Just Stephen at the
Is that a
picnic.
Jaden look or what?
It is really, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got that, mate. It's shot up. It's right in the mush.
Clive made me do that,
Did he?
and he entered that in a photographic competition.
Did he? Did he
He
really?
won a prize with it.
Well, that's 4 kids again. Yeah, 4 kids.
It's a little pool in the backyard.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
little wading pool. It was bought
Yeah.
for you, I think, Steve, when you were a baby. And that's all our kids
Don't
and
forget
Jenny
that
Brown
wading
again,
pool.
isn't it?
The cat had a mouse, and it was playing with it. You know how they do? Anyway, it flicked the mouse and it went into the pool when there was no water in it.
Yeah.
And of course it didn't look, it just flicked it away, and then of course it's looking for the mouse, it couldn't find it. Ever since that sort of a consternation, the cat more alive.
Ken, I'm not supposed to ramble on.
That's all right. There's Jim and Margaret, Gail's
Yeah.
friend.
Yes, that's right. And that's you, isn't it, Steve?
That's me.
Yeah, that's Stephen again. That's Linda and Steve.
Brian, that was down at,
What was that?
Tathra
Holiday.
Oh, that
Must
was,
have been,
yeah. That was Brian and Nancy with us, with myself and 2 of the kids.
There's me again, grade 1 this time,
you're in the camera this time.
and I was in the class with Rob Smith. He was in grade 2. It was a 1-2 composite. There's Robert Smith at the front.
Oh, right.
No, that didn't work.
Oh, right.
And then
Oh, this is way back in
when
my time.
Dad was
I
in
was
grade
up the top there, on the top right-hand
That's
side.
Dad. Yeah.
That's about
The third from the right.
1936.
1936,
Third from the
when you were
right.
in kinder, or
Yeah.
prep, what do you want to call it.
Next, the following year I went down to Manly.
And that's it. That's the end of our slideshow.
Oh, geez, well,
So
Thanks,
we went,
son.
yeah, we went to 1972 there. So
Oh,
That was good.
fair enough. Yeah,
thanks for doing that.
that's okay.
Thank you for doing it for me. I remember those. I can remember those kids, you
That photo
know.
doesn't seem familiar to me.
That's Auburn.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look familiar.
I remember those kids. I remember this kid at the front here. Looks like Jimmy Stewart.
Right, I've
Not
seen
Jimmy
that photo
Stewart.
before.
He was Jimmy Cagney.
You dirty rat!
Yeah, dirty rat. I can know them all. Fair dinkum, I
can't
can remember them all in the
horses
class.
being in any of the school photos of Ken. There must be.
Oh, look at my bloody old horses they had then.
Oh dear.
Auburn.
That'll do us.
That must be.
Let's see if it's worked.